I will never copyright a reaction channel. I will never, ever strike down a compilation of me because I don't care.
Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. I know that I made this account 2 months ago and then totally abandoned it, but honestly, I just have this energy and this desire to make videos for this channel, but I don't have any time. Like I have a full-time job, blah, 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 nobody cares. But so much stuff has happened in the Amberverse recently. I mean, I have just been eating it up left and right. I watched Jordy's channel. I am a fan of salty crab, so watching salty crab come up in, the Amberverse is quite interesting, and, I have a lot of opinions on it, but I just oh my god, it would've been so fun to actually make videos in this era. The past 2 months, so much has happened, but I just didn't have the time, so I'm going to play with, the ankle editing to hopefully, encourage me to put videos out more regularly because this is supposed to be fun. And also appreciate the 60 of you that are still subscribed to me. That's really awesome. So hopefully a few of you will see this. But yeah, I'm going to try just like a pause and talk sort of thing cuz honestly, editing like salty crab does, I don't know how they do it, but anyway, let me just wrap this up. Let's get into the video.
So I actually just got out of the shower and I wasn't gonna do this. This was not gonna be something.
Y'all, all the fucking comments of people saying no amount of evidence will make me believe you took a shower, Amberlynn. Like, of course, here we are starting another video with your hair wet. AK.
That I was gonna do. And now that I have like a whole YouTube schedule going, I don't know where.
YouTube schedule where? Like, that's out the door. And now she's already hit us with I have a new YouTube schedule and I will tell you about that soon. But I have a whole new YouTube schedule. Oh my God. God, I wish I could go to my boss and be like, "Yeah, so I have like a new schedule." Um, like what the fuck?
This would fit in my
Can I say fuck on YouTube?
schedule, and I want to get this out like now. So I don't normally do reactions to reaction channels, but I feel like I'm done like zipping my lip, you know?
Wh- when when have you zipped your lip, babe? What? And then all of this like breaking my silence. Breaking my silence. Like, what silence, baby girl? What silence? You don't shut up, to be fair. I mean, let's move on.
And when it comes to this topic, it's near and dear to me, obviously. I had cancer. It was.
Oh my God. uh, Sorry. That other part is just going to have to be like really zoomed in. This is my first time using OBS. So let's just pretend that didn't happen and move on. Please forgive me.
It was traumatizing. I genuinely thought I was gonna die.
Oh my God, she just wants attention. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've dug yourself so deep into this hole on social media that you have backed yourself so severely into a corner that you're now like grasping for sympathy, but this is just ridiculous. Because that's what you're doing. You are under so much scrutiny. Everything is just, really, it's one thing after another these days with basically things coming out that you're just not a very good person. So this like grasping for reasons for people to feel bad for you, it's just getting like really pathetic. Like really? Because you think if you bring up cancer and this and that, like we can't criticize that. But wrong. Wrong. Um, you know, uh, let's just move on.
To do invasive surgery at over 500 pounds because of my cancer. So for another YouTuber to create a nickname, Raglin Bleed, Well, already they're hypocritical, they're biased. I have made it very clear.
Oh my God. First of all, I have actually been watching Salty Crab for a few months now, and I actually think she's a bit too nice to Amberlynn sometimes. And look, no shade, no tea, no shade to Salty Crab, but she was a big influence in why I even wanted to start my channel, mainly because, or they, I don't know, I just assume she, my bad, but they, anyway, they're good at what they do, but I just honestly didn't even I'm inspired by their channel. Obviously, like you can tell visually and just like by the way I'm doing things. And I continue to watch Salty Crab and support Salty Crab, but like there are some things that Salty Crab says that I just don't agree with, and that was also another motivator for me. Not that I think Salty Crab is like necessarily wrong all the time, but I just think I don't know. I wouldn't be doing this and being and making reaction videos if I didn't think I could bring something else to the table. So, but anyway, that was kind of ew, strike that. I need to not say anyway that much. Ugh. Regardless. Or as Amberlynn would say, irregardless. Um, yeah, I don't always agree with what Salty Crab says. So this whole like raglan bleed thing, I don't think it's funny. Now, I don't think it's not funny because it's like insensitive, because I don't think it's insensitive. It's not for the same reason Amberlynn thinks it's not funny. I don't think it's funny just because I don't think it's very like I don't know. I don't think it's very creative, and I didn't laugh at it right away. I see what Salty was trying to do, um, but I don't know. But regardless, uh, it's not about like, it's clearly not about her cancer. She's just trying to grasp at anything she possibly can to make herself the victim, and really, that is, like, textbook narcissism, and she can say that, like, narcissistic tendencies, like, overlap with BPD. Oh my god. Oh my god. So you admit it's narcissism, even if it's tendencies. Let's move on. I am yapping.
On my Instagram that is fucked up. I've also made it very clear during public live streams and during my members only live streams. And this YouTuber just keeps going back and forth with me, trying to like twist the narrative of why they, named me Raglan.
Wait, I'm sorry. We're talking about Salty still? Like, what do you mean back and forth with you? This is what they do. They post reaction videos. You're the one that interacts with them. That's the thing. You've done this with Jordy too before in the past. Like this back and forth. You are the reason it's a back and forth. These are reaction channels. Like you can fully block them and never watch their stuff. Your quality of life would improve tenfold. It would be immediate. But what has your channel been the past few months? Responding to what reaction channels are talking about. Oh my god, it's exhausting. And look, that's their job. That's what Salty and Jordy and Zachary Michael like. That's their job, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Ugh.
Bleed when it's very obvious why they did it, and they're trying so
To who?
hard to like turn it into like an okay nickname. So my friend sent me this message.
Your friend. Salty Crab is I just watched her new video. This your friend. First of all, is this not literally an Instagram message? Am I wrong? She definitely talks about it. She even mentions the pic she posted this Snap. Oh my god. No, girl. Is this just a random like you're one of 3 supporters? By the way, she posted on her community tab today on YouTube. Thank you to all my supporters. You guys have been amazing recently. Something like that. Like, ew. Supporters where, babe? Like, is this your supporter? Show us the uncropped screenshot. I need to see it. Who is it?
That you are seeing here, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna react to this first 5 minutes because I want to know what they say. So let's do it. I want to be able to respond.
Let's do it. God, she's so smug. She wants to be a reaction channel so bad.
By the way, this YouTuber does not show their face because they're too scared. So,
oh my god. Once again, like And this is coming from now a reactor, although like I only have a few subscribers, whatever. I'm still making these videos. There's a reason why my face isn't on the internet doing these, and it's because that is a boundary I've put in place. I'm not sharing my personal life details. That's just not. And oh, I can't even say boundary because Amberlynn would watch this and she would be like, because she watches reaction channels with like 2 subscribers. So hey, girlie. Um, but what was I gonna say? Oh oh shoot. Oh oh no. Gosh, my train of thought. This is bad. Okay, let's just move on. Oh, the photo. Okay, your photo. It's because you're the one that put your life on the internet, Amberlynn, not us. Look, Salty has their own life. That is not an online life. Salty is salty on their account. Like what? I can't. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna explain this because everyone watching this knows. Okay, moving along.
Well, all you need to hear is their voice. Let's do it.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Happy Thursday. And before we get started today, I just want to talk a little bit about what happened last night, or should I say very early this morning. If you missed it, Amberlynn went live for about an hour and a half, and it was pretty much just a part 2 to the members only stream she did, because it was almost exactly the
Girl, why are we why are we finger combing and looking in the viewfinder? Girl.
same thing. She was, in my opinion, very manic. She was crying.
Okay, so mental health shaming.
Girl, oh! Mental, okay, mental health shaming. Because she made an observation that she thinks you were manic. Girl, what the hell? What are you talking about? Mental health shaming? More like just mental health labeling, to be fair. Like, what? God, she acts like because she has allegedly has BPD that no one's allowed to bring it up or that's shaming. Like, girl, people who have these disorders, okay, they still have to function regularly, like on a day-to-day basis, and they still have to regulate their emotions in order to not like be and do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what are you talking about? Mental health. I have to move on. We have like 17 minutes left. We have to move on.
1 second, laughing the next second, acting very just above it all. While
I'm telling you, my moods genuinely are bouncing back and forth. Like, 1 minute I am crying, 1 minute I'm laughing, 1 minute I'm doing both at the same time. 1 minute I feel despair, 1 minute I feel hopeful. It is what it is. That's where I'm currently at right now with my mental health.
Girl, that's because you just broke up with Tommy for real, a few days ago. Which, by the way, she just did some live streams on her phone. Like, what was it, last night or a couple nights ago? And she admits that she's been going through a heartbreak like from a few days ago. She says it. So that's finally confirmed. So I think she's just fresh breakup. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little like crazy emotional during breakups. But whatever. Like, okay.
still having to get digs in on people.
I'm not trying to like give her credit. I'm not trying to give her credit. My point is like you you have to regulate your emotions. I know you have BPD. It makes it difficult to regulate your emotions. You can feel like your feelings, what you feel is valid, but how you act on them or let that come out, that is controllable. You are the one that opens up your phone and pushes live stream or record and then edit and then publish. Okay.
Most of the things that she said was just her repeating what she said in the member stream. In my opinion,
A lot of people don't get to see, so I'm glad that I had that public live stream for people, because some people can't pay for my members only.
That's really rich coming from somebody that was. I apologize to Beck. Like, I'm sorry if you have to. If if the person you're apologizing to has to go through a paywall. By the way, like even if Beck were to have done that, the apology waiting on the other end would have sent me apology where. But okay, anyway, I digress.
Felt like she was doing that. She did the stream because she kind of wanted to get the attention off of Beck and Destiny's video from.
Definitely not. Beck and Destiny's video genuinely sucked. Like, okay, screenshots from 9 years ago. I'm sorry I was hurt.
Oh, it genuinely sucked. I'm sorry, screenshots from 9 years ago. Girl, don't even try to say. She always does this. She always does this. Well, that was like a long time ago. Okay, wait. First of all, was it 9 years ago? It was not 9 years ago. Was it? Like around 7, I thought. I thought she was like 26. Regardless, like, not to expose my age, but I am, around those years, around that, within that decade of ages, okay? And um I I wouldn't have acted like this at 21. Like that is too old to be sending text messages like that. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. You were still a fully grown adult and you had been for a while. The fuck?
I'm sorry I was desperate for attention.
Early.
Is that a real apology? Ugh. I hate when people do that. Well, I'm sorry. Just shut up.
Earlier yesterday, she wanted to make everybody talk about her and what happened in the live stream. But honestly, like I said, it was just a repeat of the other night. Nothing really
And yet you watched it, didn't you?
new.
And yet you watched it, didn't you? Stupid face. She's so smug. Look at her face right now. Oh my god, by the way, I just watched my very first video by the ankle. I'm not trying to copy his like voices he does. Unfortunately, I do like speak like this. And I know I'm doing his format right now. I was just inspired, honestly, because I just saw one of his videos for the first time. And I was inspired by it because the way I was editing before was so tedious and took me hours to edit. And I'm done with it. So, whatever. Again, I don't have that many subscribers anyway. But I'm not trying to copy him with the voices. I'm just an idiot like that. Okay, move on.
Came out of the stream, and I don't think I'm gonna cover it because as I was watching it,
don't.
And nothing really stood out to me. She was mostly just reading the nice comments people were leaving.
I think I know why they're actually talking about this. Because in that live stream, I straight up asked Salty Crab a question, and I think they might be answering it right now. So I'm actually glad that I'm reacting to
Girl
this.
is fangirling.
She was ranting about everybody who she doesn't like, crying over, like, girl, we saw it all before, and it was more entertaining in the member stream. But I do want to address one thing, and like I said before, I'm not going to do a back and forth with Amberlynn.
But yet you are.
Oh my god. But yet you are. What? Huh? This isn't this video of Salty Crabs wasn't even really like a response to her. Not her really specifically. I mean, I guess it was her acknowledging things, but you're the one that makes things a back and forth, Amberlynn.
There's really no point to it. There's nothing.
But yet you are.
I can say to her that's gonna make her just all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, you're right. I apologize.
Because you're not.
Because you're not. Because you're not. Like, girl thinks she's eating Salty up.
Her just all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, you're right. I apologize to anyone.
Honey buns, why would I apologize to you? Like, there's nothing to apologize to you for.
Wait, I thought Salty was saying she wouldn't. Hold on.
Honey buns.
Wait, hold on. We gotta go back. This is so annoying.
Because you're not.
Hold on. Her just all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, you're right. I apologize to anyone.
Honey buns.
Honey buns.
Why would I apologize to you? Like, there's nothing to apologize to you for.
Oh my god.
She's gonna think she's right about everything until the end of.
I'm not right about everything. At all.
One thing that I'm right about is that I'm not right about everything all the time. No, sweetie pie, you're wrong. I'm right, okay? Because I know that I'm not always right. The cognitive dissonance is insane with this one. It's the narcissism, babe.
time. Even the things that she admits
How
she
smug
did
she
wrong,
is.
she has a reason for or an excuse. And it's usually blaming some.
I bet you're not perfect at all.
Oh, okay. I need to stop pausing and saying, "Oh my god." um, this has nothing to do with Salty. This has nothing to do with Salty, like as a person. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just did it again. This just reminds me, any of you watch Traders on Peacock? How when they're in the round table, they'll be like, that's just not like I know her. I know her. She's not capable of betraying me like that. That's just not the person that she is. Like, or when they're like, I literally couldn't do that. I don't have it in me to be a traitor. I couldn't possibly like it has nothing to do with it has no excuse me. It has nothing to do with like your character. It has nothing to do with Salty's character. That's not what is being questioned right now. The fuck? Like Salty is a reaction channel. Does anyone understand the comparison I just made? It's just how it makes no it's there's no correlation basically.
I bet you made your fair share of mistakes. So it's like these
Doesn't
people
matter.
who want to like point their finger and be like, you're not perfect. Well, bro, you have several fingers pointed back at you.
Didn't Jordy say that in a stream recently? Did I do we think she's watching? Jordy? Ooh.
Because neither are you.
Someone else.
Mic
or
drop.
Her BPD. But she did.
Oh, do you hear the mocking of her BPD? More mental health shaming.
Girl.
Like, when does it end?
Ask.
See, you just can't mention the BPD or it's shaming. Even if Salty has been, and this is what I'm saying. In the past, Salty has been like, you know what, I actually think that's very cute, or I understand where she's coming from. Like Amberlynn, first of all, has she even actually watched Salty to know that she's pretty objective when she watches Amberlynn? You know, like, ugh, she just can't take any criticism. That's just all that it comes down to, really.
Me personally to tell her why in my video from almost a week ago, Amber, like you're still going on about it, but
and you still go on about things that happened years and years ago just because you need something to talk about because your whole channel is monetized based on talking about me. So yeah, I am going to talk about something that happened a week ago that genuinely hurt my feelings and my jaw was on the floor because I was like, making a joke out of my cancer is not okay. Out of my cancer is not okay.
Nobody is making a joke about your cancer. Girl, it's about how you free bled with no disregard, like with no regard to your roommates and their things. And we did hear that you ruined people's things. Now, I believe, like, I can only imagine it was smell that Ricky and Eric were talking about because I've been around a big person like this, not over 500 pounds, my God, but like up there. And that's a different kind of smell. So like that's pretty much what I would imagine. Um, but if it is in regards to the free bleeding, ooh, ooh, the rags are that's just crazy. I mean, they make those overnight pads, and those things are huge. Like, why? I mean, I know why we're not using those. We're lazy. I mean, you would think that would work better though. They're disposable. Excuse me. Like, I don't know. Let's see what she has to say.
she wanted me to talk about or tell her why I called that character Raglan Bleed. Why did I use the word bleed? First of all, it was a stupid joke.
It's not a stupid joke. So if you say something that offends
To be fair, it was pretty stupid. Like, it was just a dumb joke. That wasn't funny. Again, not funny because it was offensive, because I don't think it was offensive. Because it's about the intention, right? Salty Crab's intention was not to make fun of your cancer. Although maybe if you keep like peeling away the layers, like, yeah, okay, sure, you're saying you were bleeding because it was a cancer symptom, but that's not what Salty is saying. Salty is saying that you were careless about it. You let it go on for, what was it, like 2 years having this symptom, and you didn't get looked at? Girl, that's what she's talking about.
Someone and it genuinely hurts their feelings, you apologize, right? Isn't that what you're
Sure,
trying
but
to teach?
like, you're not a good person. You're an exception. Oh my God. Whenever I try to like explain the Amberverse to my friends and family, it's so hard because it seems like we're all like, I was going to say ragging. It seems like we're all, is ragging the word? Ragging on this person and just like not letting up on her. But when you know all the lore, like, Amberlynn's not a good person. Do I think that she could have a redemption arc? Yes, but that would involve her going to like therapy, like a lot of therapy, admitting that admitting that she has these issues, getting properly diagnosed and treated for them. It would take a long time. I obviously don't think she's like so far beyond it being a possibility, but I do think the possibility is slim and grim. For sure.
Your audience, supposedly?
Supposedly,
Do it then. Or do you have too much ego, too much pride, afraid your audience is going to get mad at you?
the call is coming from within the house, baby girl.
This is a silly joke. I wanted a word that
Not a silly joke.
rhymed with your last name, so I used the word.
There's a lot of words that rhyme with read. I mean, I can think of one right now. Feed. That'd be a lot more.
Period. Oh. Period, literally, girl. Yes. That's pretty good. Raglan feed. I like that. I'll give her that.
Funnier than bleed.
But also,
Yeah, it kind
the
of is.
joke was not about your cancer.
Honestly, the bleed is a little grotesque. Like, whenever I watched that video of Salty, I was like, ew, Raglan bleed. That's it's just if I thought it were funny, then I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't necessarily think she went too far or anything, because again, I don't think her intention was to make fun of her cancer. I don't know, it didn't hit with me. Feed is good.
Yes, it was.
Much as you try and say that it was, what it was really about was your laziness. The fact that you made the choice to not seek medical treatment when you knew that you should.
So, first of all, one of the very first things that I did when I was diagnosed with cancer, because I was told to do this, was join forums of other people who have the same cancer as me. And in doing that, I realized we all had one thing in common. 95% of us waited and waited and waited. We had these symptoms and we just waited months, or some of us waited years. Some people waited even longer than me to see a gynecologist. And there is multiple reasons for that.
Wait, so you found this community of people where you're hearing them talk about, oh, I waited this long and I just got a checkup and it's not good, and then you still don't get checked out? Is that what I'm hearing? What?
Fear, embarrassment, feeling ashamed, anxiety. Some of us.
Oh my God, girl, I get this. Like, I have nerves going to the gyno, but like, if you're bleeding abnormally like that for that long, like, you gotta go. You gotta go. And then she has the nerve to have like to have health anxiety. Girl, we've gone, I mean, she's gone to the hospital over she's gone to the hospital over just like, I think my heart rate is a little elevated. Like, girl, you come on now.
Then begin to believe, like, okay, maybe actually these symptoms are normal, or actually it's really not that big of a deal. I did go to the doctor. I actually went to the ER a few times, and every single time I went,
Lynn, for real. Yeah, we know you've been to the ER. You go randomly all the time. And the thing about the ER, okay, and I've learned this from my own personal experience when I didn't have health insurance, is you think that like if you go to the ER, they'll be able to run like certain tests and be able to maybe give you a diagnosis or this and that. That's not how the ER works. The ER works, and I've been told this. I said I learned this through my own experience. I've been told this by an ER doctor. They're like, "Look, I do believe you probably have some issues with insert concern while you're here. However, that's really not what the ER is for. What we do is we get you in, we do tests that are basically like life-saving tests. We're checking for things that, could be signs that you're dying or you need emergency care, right? Like we need to fix these things now. Those are the sort of tests that they do, and then when they are able to determine that you are not actively dying, they send you home. You don't go to the ER for a cancer diagnosis. They're not running those sort of tests. It's like, okay, what's causing the pain? It could be these things. We're going to prescribe you this medication and we're going to move on. You know, they're not going to necessarily give you like a million trillion specific tests if they've already deemed it to be non-life threatening. Okay? So, period. Literally, now that we got that out of the way, let's move on.
Told me I had all this blood and I had the pain in my back and it was due to a UTI or it was due to a bladder infection and all of these things, but that wasn't the case. Should I have gone to a gynecologist sooner? Sure. Does that make me
Sure. I mean, even in that way that she responds, sure. Like, you can't even admit, yes, you should have. That's how stubborn she is.
lazy? Fuck no. Does that make anyone else who has also had uterine cancer and they waited a really long time to be seen until they were diagnosed, does that make them lazy? No.
Oh, don't do it. Don't say it. Um, what? Wait, so hold on. That's your defense? What? So you're just saying all of us who have cancer that waited, we it's our fault? Who said that? Who said that?
Do they deserve to have a nickname like that? No.
Do they have a YouTube channel for over a decade where they have over and over and over shown that they're not a good person? Hello.
Knew that, oh well, someone else will just come and clean up this mess for me.
Clean up this mess?
And when I say that you expected everyone to clean things up around you, you know exactly what I mean.
If you're talking about my blood, I made sure that that was nowhere. There was blood nowhere. Did you guys ever remember that mattress that was out in the living room? That was one of the reasons it was in the living room, because I was scared to get blood anywhere. I never got it anywhere.
Right. It's not because you would have broken the couch. Right. It's not because you didn't fit on the couch. Right. All right. Hello? Girl, like you're trying she will deny. Remember how adamantly she denied being wiped? It was like this. Also, look, what is ew, her face is scaring me right now. But remember how adamantly she denied being wiped? That's what it's giving right now. Girl, like you mean for me to believe that pre your hysterectomy, which you say was the start of Beck wiping you, which Beck did tell us it was before then. You mean to tell us that prior to that, you could take care of your own bleed rags, your blood rags, okay? You wash them yourself. But girl, why would we believe that? With when then you had 9 months of being wiped after that and having Beck wash those rags, which Beck told us that. Look, I know Beck has been like hard for money and they're all of a sudden seeing the success, but I don't think they would go. I personally don't believe they would go to the point of making things up like that. I mean, that is horrendous. I don't think that's the kind of person Beck is. I do think, however, that's the kind of person you are. Now stop looking at me like that.
Anywhere. If I wasn't wearing a pad, I was wearing a rag. I was very anal about that because it was embarrassing. Like I was always bleeding. Sometimes it was heavier than other times, but it was genuinely an awful experience and it was very embarrassing. I never made Beck do it. Who else was there? Oh, are you speaking about my roommates? Because I had roommates. Hell no, that is so embarrassing. That was two guys. Like, are you joking?
Oh, Jesus. Stop. Okay. I'm sorry. I just can't with the pause and then, oh my God, I need to break that habit within this video. We need to get Ricky. We need to get Ricky and hello, brain fart. Eric and Ricky. We need to get Eric and Ricky. That's what I'm hoping comes next season. Because everyone's coming out of their woodworks. I really hope Ricky has got to have some sort of, because Ricky had the YouTube channel, right? He's got to have some footage, some unseen footage to release. That cereal video of Amberlynn, like, what cereal is that? I know Beck explained it, but it's still so funny. Anyway, move on.
Handled all of that by myself. Just because I was having all these symptoms, it didn't make me a selfish or disrespectful person. I wasn't gonna sit there
because you already were that
and make a mess. Like what? The fact that you're even insinuating that is hectic. And that's for a lack of a better word.
Hectic. And that's for lack of a better word. That's for lack of any words. That's the only word we know. That's number one on your vocabulary. Literally, hectic, and genuinely. Girl.
You're the one who said you had to use rags instead of using feminine products. But who washed those rags, Amber?
Me. What?
Changed those rags, Amber?
Me? What is happening?
She's either actor Lynn or like maybe she washed her blood rags, but Beck washed the poop rags. So because of that small sliver of truth, she is just rolling with it. You know?
So you called me Raglan Bleed because you're assuming that Beck washed my rags. I genuinely think this person needs help. Like more help than me. Like I admit I need help, but so do you. What?
Amber, who probably had to scrub those rags.
I'm sorry. That is so ridiculous. That is so, what? Girl, like that, if that were true, it wouldn't even be the most shocking, thing that's come out of girl world. What? You need help. Girl, just reflect. Just project and reflect.
Out in this.
No one scrubbed a rag in a sink because of my cancer symptoms. That never happened.
Sink, Amber. Bet it wasn't you. And you.
The manipulation because of my cancer symptoms. That she didn't say that.
You were just fine with.
It was nobody.
Them having to do it day after day.
It was nobody.
Week after week, month after month, year after year. You intentionally did not go to the doctor.
I didn't intentionally not go to the doctor.
For that.
You don't do anything intentionally. So, okay.
When other times, you would go to the ER for cellulitis.
Yes, because cellulitis is an infection that if it gets in your blood, you can die. So yeah, I did go to the ER for that. So I can be on antibiotics because that's the only way that cellulitis can go away. So I'm sorry.
What? And the possibility of having cancer isn't seeing a doctor immediately worthy? Like I'm missing it. I'm missing it because I know how the internet works. You put your symptoms in there and it says cancer. And I know how much anxiety you get over health. So why, that's not an excuse. Hello?
The time that you needed stitches in your hand.
Yes, I literally still have that scar. But yes, I needed stitches. I'm sorry. I stabbed myself in the hand with a knife.
This wasn't a case where you had a fear of the doctor.
This is genuinely like you invalidating my experience. But you know what? I don't expect anything less, anything more from you.
She loves these trigger words. She loves these trigger words. Invalidating, boundaries. What did she say before? She said, oh my God, my brain. She said, shaming. She said, Oh my gosh. What? Y'all, I'm losing it. She said mental health shaming. Girl. Girl. And then fat phobia. We are far past fat phobia, girl. Far fat, fat.
No problems going to the ER. But in this situation, you decided to ignore it. You even admitted that you took an online quiz to see what was wrong rather than seeing a doctor. And even then, when the quiz told you what was probably wrong, it still took you
LOL, me taking an autism test online. Getting 100%. Not going to see a psychiatrist. Because here's the thing, if I truly am on the spectrum, I'm rocking it.
another month before you went to the doctor.
Yeah, out of fear. And I also kept lying to myself because my whole life, like even in high school, I had irregular periods. Doctors always told me it was because of my weight. Like when you're really overweight and when you're really underweight, your periods are very irregular. So I did keep lying to myself. I was like, this is happening because of your weight. So the more I lied to myself, the more I made it seem like, oh, it's just because of my weight. So it still doesn't give you the right to make fun of the situation.
And when you did finally go to the doctor, you took pictures of your underwear and the crotch.
Wait, I'm sorry. I was just processing. I'm not gonna lie. I think I just zoned out a little bit. Was she just trying to say, well, it was because of my weight? Did she just try to blame her weight? God, I wish I could eat whatever I want all day, every day. Get to her size and blame it on my weight. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to give out too much of my personal information, but I sure as hell am not even a fraction of the size of Amberlynn. You know, I'm not just like, oh my God, I'm so skinny, but I've worked really hard to have the body that I have. And I don't, I'm not ignorant to the fact that, what is it, 3,500 calories you have to overeat over your maintenance to gain a pound. She has to eat consistently, like severely over her maintenance to get to her her size. I mean, it is just a gross abuse of privilege the way that she eats. It's just whatever. I'm getting off topic, but it's like, how dare you? How dare you eat yourself to be that size and then try to act like you have some sort of weight privilege? No, that's not an excuse.
Of your pants.
I did. Actually, it was Beck who took those pictures. We were
Pictures.
absolutely shocked with how much blood I was losing. Like I was losing.
It was actually Beck. God, you want to take any chance, any opportunity to put things off of you, especially Beck, since Beck has been absolutely coming for you recently.
So much blood, and that was only the beginning of it, like the pictures that we did take, because then it got worse and worse. At that point, I was having to be rushed into an emergency DNC. I was losing so much blood that like I could have died. But yes, Beck had their phone and they were taking pictures because it was genuinely so shocking. And I remember Beck was texting my mom and like keeping my mom updated. And during that, Beck sent those photos to my mom because it's like when you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, Amberlynn is like gushing blood. You know, you imagine something.
Okay, but didn't you post those photos on your Snapchat? So, you know what it's giving? It's giving when you were in like grade school and some kid would come, like the weird kid, the weird shy kid that always wanted attention. This seems very specific, but I'm sure some of you can relate to this. Comes into class and they're still wearing their hospital bracelet. That's what it's giving. Her posting those photos on Snapchat. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God, you guys. You'll never believe it. Oh my God. Like she is incapable of going to the ER or having some sort of medical scare and not alerting the whole world.
But you don't imagine like how bad it actually was.
And the floor and all the blood everywhere, and you put them on Snapchat for your viewers to see.
Yes, I did put them on Snapchat. So this was during the time.
Oh my God, yes, I did put them on Snapchat. Obviously, How do you think we knew about that? She's so fake. Actor Lynn, come on now.
Where I was like, I cannot believe that people think I am lying about cancer. And it was quite a few people. Like when Nikocado Avocado.
Okay, says the girl that posted that. Things I've lied to you about. And being so raw. Fuck. I just couldn't believe you guys didn't believe me.
Uploaded that video insinuating that I lied about cancer. Like I was being harassed more than ever. And
Who cares? Who cares if people don't believe you? Especially when you know that you have cancer. I do believe she had cancer. That'd be a crazy thing to lie about. And like people have lied about that in the past. And that's just easy to refute or disprove. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My vocab failed me for a sec there. That's just easy to disprove. It just is. So I mean, I believe that. I believe that you had cancer. But God, it's just because that one she just sees some people that like 3 people say they don't believe, and she's like, everyone thinks that I'm lying. Y'all are all just so horrible.
like it made my mental health so bad. I ended up filming a whole video, like bawling my eyes out. Like I showed my actual medical paperwork, which was really embarrassing. And in that same like impulsive state of mind, I ended up posting those pictures on Snapchat as a way to be like, I did go through this. This is exactly what happened to me.
God, I mean, she sees one comment and she just gets so defensive. That's what this video is. I mean, she can't leave anything unaddressed. She can't. And I get like if you were a YouTuber and it was like 1 or 2 or 3 accusations and you wanted to address that, but Amberlynn, we are very, very deep into a laundry list of things that we're calling you out for. You just when you get to a point where you have an entire community of people reacting to your videos because you're that entertaining, you can't watch them. You must stop watching them. You must.
Do I regret doing that? No. But it is very pathetic that I even had to do that. That it actually got
Yeah,
to
it is
that
pathetic.
level, that I had to show something so private. It honestly feels demeaning. And this person right here is like making
Nobody made you do that. So you demean yourself.
fun of me because I did that. That's really, really sad.
See, but you have a problem with me making a silly joke using the word bleed?
They don't have anything to do with each other.
Really, Amber? It's also come out that you ruin people's personal items because
Okay, pause first. I just want to say, like, you guys ever had a friend that was like upset with you and you were like, "Oh no, like I didn't mean it that way. That definitely was not my intention." Um, I'm so sorry. That wasn't my intention, right? I mean, at least that's how normal people apologize. Am I wrong? At least that's how normal people, in my opinion, apologize for whenever someone says that you hurt their feelings. But like if that friend came back and was like, well, here's the thing. I don't want to equate Salty Crab and Amberlynn as friends because they're not friends. But like if let's just say in general, because this is what Amberlynn was saying earlier, right? Like if someone says that you hurt their feelings, you apologize and you move on. Like you hurt their feelings, point blank. Um, sure, sure. But the difference is that Salty Crab told you her intentions were not to make fun of your cancer, and you won't accept that. So we're at a standstill. Like we're at a standstill at this point. We cannot move on from this. There is no resolving this because you refuse to believe when Salty is telling you those weren't my intention. Those weren't my intentions. That's the thing. And that's what you'll realize with people that are very emotionally and stunted and their maturity is stunted. They have this like inability to recognize people's intentions and um accept that and move on from that. Does that make sense? Like I went through a phase like when my frontal lobe developed in my mid-20s. I went through a phase where I realized, "Oh, intentions are pivotal. They're incredibly important." Like if someone says their intentions were not to hurt your feelings, that's just how it is. It doesn't take away from the point that like you did hurt my feelings, and I think that needs to be said, right? You need to advocate for yourself. But as for moving forward, intentions are pivotal, you know? So it just shows me that Amberlynn just wants to be stuck in this victim mentality. She doesn't want to resolve anything. She doesn't want to actually, she talks about nuance, nuance. For someone who talks about nuance all the time, you sure as hell don't respect it. Like, don't you think there's some nuance with your relationship to reaction channels that maybe they could be in the right? That maybe you could have some understanding to them? Like, I know it seems like everything and everyone is against you, but what about the nuance, babe?
Is what?
Because of the bleeding.
I never ruined anyone's personal items because of the bleeding. Nothing.
It wasn't the bleeding. It was because I stink. Okay? Get it right. It wasn't because of my blood. I put full bath towels in my panties. Okay, was that too much? That's just what I like imagine. When she just did that underwear haul. Them's were parachutes. There's a reason everything's so expensive on Torrid. Which I would know because I told you guys I've been watching Jordy's streams, which I'm going to have to cut back on since I'm doing my own videos. I don't want to watch his and then react to those videos if I've already seen them. But anyway, everyone's buying those Why You're So Obsessed With Me sweatshirts she got from Torrid. I bought one because they were on sale and everyone was like buying them in Jordy's stream. So I have a 2XL of this sweatshirt. Oh my God. But anyway, my point is like it's so much fabric. It's like a parachute. We saw your underwear hole, girl. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe those overnight pads aren't enough. So what was I getting at? Oh, yeah. It wasn't my blood. It wasn't my blood that ruined people's objects. It was my stank.
All. Zero. Zippo. Nada.
You made your ex drag a mattress in and out of the living room for you to sit on it so you wouldn't make a mess.
That is actually the truth.
Okay, how is she gonna like make this seem not as bad as it is?
I would have done it for Beck. When you're in a relationship and you think that you love the person, it's supposed to be a safe, comforting, caring environment. Think for 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure you would have dragged the mattress into the living room as well if you wanted to hang out with your partner.
The manipulation. The manipulation. That's what you do in a loving relationship. That's what you do for somebody that you love. I would have done it for them. She in Beck and Destiny's recent video with all the text messages, she said that, didn't she? She said something like, I would do this for you. Why are you making me feel bad? Because she was texting like all these things like, when are you gonna come do the trash? When are you gonna come over and this and that, whatever. And Beck and Destiny talked about how they would have to go and check on her like once a week or once a month, or I think it was once a week, because they would show up and her place would just be a wreck. It's like checking on your elderly, family member because they can't take care of themselves. You have to go check in on them. And by the way, Destiny was her ex at the time. Oh my God. I would do it for you. And Amberlynn, like, she's recently been saying, y'all don't even know. Like, I've done some embarrassing things for Beck. You don't even know. What are you talking? Like, nothing can compare to what she did for you, even if you were telling the truth.
Partner and you knew what they were experiencing. I think when people imagine my bleeding, I think they're imagining like Carrie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. It wasn't like that until I was rushed to the ER. Then it was very much like that.
She's just trying to minimize it. Like maybe some men might be imagining something. I mean, I know you're making it seem like Carrie. Obviously, there's not that much blood. Like maybe men don't have a full understanding, but a lot of girl world are women as well. And a lot of us understand what it's like to have a heavy period. So no, but we know that it can be a lot. It can seem like a lot. So yeah, don't try to minimize it. I'm sure it was a decent amount of bleeding. Like I don't want to give up too much personal info about me, But like I have had a lot of heavy periods and it can really seem like a lot. It can really seem like a lot sometimes, you know? But that's your responsibility to keep up with your hygiene. Girl, I know you weren't replacing those not even pads, those rags. Um Often enough. I just know you weren't. I just know you weren't.
But on like an everyday basis, it wasn't like that. I did not get blood anywhere.
It wasn't every day, okay? It was every other day.
So let me keep hearing why you're making fun of my cancer. Let's keep going with your excuse, because still, I don't get it.
And did you do anything about that? Did you try and get it looked at for at least 2 years?
Like I said, I went to the ER for it, and I went to the doctor, and they sent me home with a UTI and antibiotics.
No, because you thought, well, someone else.
You went to the ER. Yeah, they don't do cancer screenings when you come in with like with a concern.
Also clean it up. I don't feel like
No one cleaned up anything. There was nothing to clean up.
going, but somehow that's my fault for using a word, for saying the word bleed.
You are so dense.
You're so dense. I just watched like a screen grab of when, because I was trying to, because I told you guys I just recently like kind of discovered other reaction channels like Jordy, and so like literally just a couple weeks ago, and I heard about how Amberlynn would go into his lives and um be in the chat a lot, and she would anyway, I watched like this recap video of that because I was just trying to understand some more of the lore with Amberlynn's kind of relationship with these reaction channels, and that seems to be a go-to for her. You're so dense. Like, look, I'm just gonna shot in the dark. I'm just gonna assume you got a lot more density, okay, than any of us do.
You actually think that I'm upset because you used a word. You're making fun of me. You're making fun of an experience that altered my whole life.
Really? And before you fix your mouth to call me an ableist again,
You are.
and
Got her.
try and say that your medical issues were due to your size,
They are.
It's not an excuse. And it's not an excuse.
you sure had no problem getting to Lexington 20.
What? During that era of my life, I went to Lexington maybe once. I'm finding it hard.
Oh, girl, can someone roll back the tapes? That can't possibly be right. Someone roll back the tapes. Beanbag in a curry. Get on that.
Hard to understand like what that has to do with you making fun of my cancer. Like you're reaching so far that I am in fear you're going to pull a muscle. So calm down, please.
Oh my God, I thought she was going to say, like, I'm in fear for my safety. Didn't she do that with Zachary recently? Zachary Michael. I'm in fear for my safety. No, she was just trying to burn. I'm in fear that you're going to pull a muscle. Whatever.
7 times to go to the Cheesecake Factory. So how was there a problem getting to the doctor? Maybe if the gynecologist would have served orange chicken, you would have gotten checked out sooner.
Oh! Okay. Salty doesn't usually have zingers that make me LOL, but that is. Look at Amberlynn's face. It's so true though, because wasn't the Cheesecake Factory like 2 hours from her home? Poor Beck. Oh my God. Oh, she's got a point there.
But
There it is. You're ableist, girl. Just admit it.
Ooh.
You're fatphobic.
Ooh.
You're biased. You lack empathy and sympathy.
Ooh.
And you can't admit when you're wrong.
that's all
I'm sorry. Was she talking about herself there? Like, genuinely, what?
you're getting from me, Amber. Now.
Ooh, genuinely. Scratch that.
Rules for me, but not for thee.
Wow. Oh gosh. I mean, there's so much to unpack there. Clearly, Amberlynn is not ready to take any sort of accountability. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. What do y'all think? What do you guys think about this? I had an absolute blast reacting to this. I think I really like this format. Not having to like edit my audio and splice the video a million times. So, moment of truth, as Amberlynn would say, the moment of truth. I'm going to pause this and see if it worked out. So, thanks so much for you guys being here. I hope that this new editing style will allow me to make more videos because I really want to stay up on Girl World. It's been so juicy recently, and I don't think that it's going to let up. So, cool. Thanks, y'all. Bye.